For over a decade, Syria was synonymous with the iron-fisted rule of Bashar al-Assad. His regime, responsible for countless atrocities, seemed unshakable. Then, the impossible happened. Rebel forces, spearheaded by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, successfully stormed Damascus. Assad, the man who once embodied Syrian power, was forced to flee, seeking refuge in Russia. This stunning turn of events marked the end of an era, leaving a power vacuum and a nation yearning for peace. The swiftness of Assad's downfall shocked the world. Just weeks before his ousting, the Syrian army appeared to be gaining ground. The capture of Aleppo, Hama, and Homs, however, turned the tide. Assad's forces, exhausted and demoralized, crumbled under the rebel offensive. The fall of Damascus, once unthinkable, became the final blow. HTS, once a fringe group, emerged as the dominant force in the rebellion. Their battlefield successes, coupled with the Assad regime's brutality, garnered them support among the populace. With Assad gone, HTS inherited a shattered nation. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, from rebuilding infrastructure to reconciling with a fractured populace. The international community, caught off guard by Assad's swift downfall, now grapples with the reality of a new Syria. The questions are many. Can HTS transition from a rebel group to a responsible governing body? Will this new chapter bring lasting peace or further turmoil? Only time will tell. At the helm of this new Syria stands Ahmed Hussein al-Shara, formerly known as Abu Muhammad al-Golani. Once the feared leader of HTS, he has shed his nom de guerre and donned a suit, attempting a dramatic image makeover. He now presents himself as a moderate, a statesman ready to lead Syria into a new era of stability and prosperity. Al-Shara insists that HTS has turned a corner, that its past ties to Al-Qaeda are just that, the past. He claims that HTS seeks engagement with the West, not confrontation. He promises a Syria governed by law, not by the sword. This sudden transformation has been met with a mixture of cautious optimism and deep skepticism. The international community remains wary. Al-Shara's past actions, particularly during HTS's rule in Idlib, cast a long shadow. Accusations of human rights abuses and suppression of dissent linger. Western powers are hesitant to embrace this new HTS, demanding concrete actions, not just words. Al-Shara's unilateral appointment of a prime minister has further fueled doubts. Critics see it as a power grab, a sign that HTS is more interested in consolidating control than fostering genuine democracy. The coming months will be crucial. Al-Shara's every move will be scrutinized, his every word analyzed for any hint of his true intentions. The fate of Syria, and indeed the region, hangs in the balance. The international community, still reeling from the sudden collapse of the Assad regime, has responded to the rise of HTS with a mixture of cautious curiosity and deep unease. Western nations, burned by past experiences in the region, are hesitant to fully engage with the new regime. The United States and the United Kingdom, while considering removing HTS from their terrorist lists, have called for concrete evidence of their supposed moderation. European nations, scarred by the Syrian refugee crisis, are watching closely. The European Union's foreign policy chief has warned of the potential for a resurgence of extremism, underscoring the need for a stable and inclusive government in Syria. The specter of a failed state, a breeding ground for terrorism, hangs heavy in the air. Neighboring countries already grappling with the fallout of the Syrian conflict are equally apprehensive. Turkey, wary of Kurdish aspirations for autonomy, has clashed with the Syrian Democratic Forces in northern Syria. Israel, viewing Iran's presence in Syria as an existential threat, has continued its airstrikes against Iranian-backed targets. The Arab world, deeply divided over the Syrian conflict, is struggling to find a unified response. Qatar, known for its pragmatic approach, has taken the lead in engaging with HTS, hoping to maintain stability and preserve public institutions. The road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. The world watches, waiting to see if Syria will finally emerge from the ashes of war or descend further into chaos. As the dust settles on the ruins of the Assad regime, A new Syria begins to take shape, albeit a fragile and uncertain one. The triumphant HTS, now tasked with governing a shattered nation, faces a daunting array of challenges. The specter of the Islamic State, though weakened, still haunts the country's vast desert regions. The Syrian Democratic Forces, flush with their victory against ISIS, control a significant swath of territory in the north. They are unlikely to relinquish their hard-won autonomy without guarantees for Kurdish rights, setting the stage for potential conflict with the new regime. The return of Syrian refugees, once a trickle, has become a steady stream. They return to a country ravaged by war, where basic services are scarce and the scars of conflict run deep. The road to peace and stability in Syria is long and arduous. The international community, while cautiously optimistic, remains skeptical of HTS's true intentions. The coming months will be crucial. The world watches, hoping against hope that this time peace will prevail.